Acrobats of the air, the best freestyle motocrossers in the world meet for a showdown in Germany. The Red Bull X-Fighters are the Formula One of freestylers. The second last contest of the series takes place in a quarry. For weeks, 350 workers have moved 100,000 tons of stone and earth to create this challenging freestyle track for the competitors. Among them is German professional freestyler Basti Walter. Whether he'll overcome the international competition, you'll find out today in Two Wheels Only. Basti Walter is warming up. Will his abilities be enough to beat the competition? In freestyle motocross, it's all about new challenges and the evolution of tricks. That means that they started with quite a simple trick, and sometimes, somewhere, someone did a backflip and then wondered if they could try a seat grab during the backflip. There are two kinds of drivers. The majority are those who watch other drivers and think, okay, that trick works, I'll do that one too. And then there are a couple of drivers who always set new benchmarks. Somehow they get an idea and think, hey, we have to try that. I always like to watch them too, to see what's possible, and then I try to learn the trick as quickly as possible. Because I'm a professional, you quickly have to start thinking about how you could learn it. German Basti Walter prepares for his training run. All his jumps have to be perfect to get a high score on the competition night. At first, the tricks are routine for the 31-year-old. Then he tries the backflip, and it almost goes wrong. Basti lands at the last second. He's annoyed. The backflip is the most dangerous of all the tricks, but it's obligatory in the professional camp. Basti tries it again, and once again he almost doesn't complete the turn. The freestyler is unsettled. Actually, it's going quite well. It's just the backflips that I've mucked up several times, and I just don't know what I should do differently. That annoys me a bit at the moment, because of course a backflip is an important element that the judges want to see. But I don't know where else I should flip here, because I don't feel that great elsewhere either. Oh well. Catch your breath and calm down. Basti has to solve his backflip problem in his head. Freestyle motocross takes a lot of effort, every day, in every jump. A readiness to take risks and a cool head are rewarded. But there's always a danger of crashing, and falls are mostly not mild. But if you master the backflip, you can enchant the world with such jumps. With a backflip, I basically have to do a wheelie off the ramp and come off the ramp on my back wheel. So I have to approach the ramp in a neutral position, keep driving that way down the ramp and go with the curve a little. And then, at the last moment, shortly before the front wheel leaves the ramp, I have to jerk backwards, roughly to this position, to give the bike this rear wheel impetus. At the same time, I give it more throttle. In a normal jump, you give it a burst of throttle on the ramp and ease off a little at the end so that you don't go head over heels. In a backflip, you really accelerate over the edge of the ramp so that the back wheel really scoots forward.
Bei einem Backflip beschleunigt man wirklich über die Rampenkante hinaus, dass das Hinterrad im Prinzip so nach vorne wegschlänzt.
So you're almost leaning back, give it more throttle over the edge of the ramp, and if you've done everything right, then a backflip is the easiest thing in the world.
Etwas zu schlecht gezogen hat,
If you've set it up badly and you turn too slowly, you can rev it in the air to give the bike a little bit of acceleration for the rotation. Or maybe if you've gone too far, too much throttle on takeoff, thrown yourself too far back, you can slow down the rotation a bit by pulling on the clutch and using the foot brake. But those are really just minor corrections. If you've done something fundamentally wrong when you start the jump, you have no chance of getting in the backflip. Busty speaks with his mechanic. The motorbike needs a longer transmission so that it has more revs in reserve in the air. That way, Busty can exert more influence on the rotation in the air and extend the jump distance enough to land safely. A new sprocket and new luck. Will it work better after tuning? Actually, it does go better, but still not perfect. We're getting a bit closer to the solution to the problem. The flips weren't quite good enough to really reassure me, but at least I now have one less problem, namely struggling to get the distance to flip.
That's
not a problem anymore, but the problem now is that I think a lot about it, so the timing is probably not ideal. But I think that's something I'll sort out tomorrow. His turn still isn't perfect. The danger of a fall is high. On the morning of the contest, Busty is looking for another ramp to master the trick better there. Freestyle motocross is all in your head. The other guys said that actually it flips quite easily, but I don't feel quite comfortable with it. When I think about it, I get a queasy feeling in my stomach. This is the FMX game. Can you get over that queasy feeling or not? Do I have the balls to do it or not? I still don't know. Showdown. The quarry is buzzing. It's all or nothing for Busty now. The 31-year-old has overcome his block and completes a clean run. Busty's 40 is firing up the audience and bringing the atmosphere to the boil. The judges give him a good score for showmanship. Busty outdistances his competitor and goes into the next round. But here he faces Matt Rebaud, the winner of multiple X-Fighters contests. The Swiss rider scores points most of all for his daring backflips. Busty can't keep up any longer, even though he has the audience completely on his side. In the end, he has to admit defeat by Matt Rebaud, but proves to be a fair and happy loser. I'm extremely happy with my performance here in the quarry. I managed to get through to the second round for the first time in my X-Fighters career. It soon became clear to me that I'd have little chance against Matt Rebaud, and I still managed to steal 1 point away from him in front of the judges in showmanship. And, yes, I'm really happy with my performance and with the event so far. The audience is really awesome, and I think Germany can be proud of this event. And Busty can be proud of himself too, because he's won their hearts forever.